Hey guys, my name is Em and welcome to the start of a brand new reading vlog. So today is Monday and I received a very exciting book in the post today, and I just immediately want to start reading, and I wanted to vlog for you too. So this will be a vlog specifically for a certain book, which I haven't done in a very long time. I'm used to kind of filming weekly reading vlogs, and the book that I'm talking about is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas, of course. I am so excited for this book. This is honestly one of my favorite series of all times, and I just love Sarah J Maas's writing, relationships, everything so much. Her books always bring a smile to my face, and though of course they're not perfect, I think they're just very comforting reads. I don't know if that even makes sense, because they're definitely not calm and happy reads all of the time, but they're so comforting, and I'm very intrigued to read this book. So before I get into more of my thoughts, I do just want to have a quick little disclaimer. This vlog will have spoilers in it, so if you have not read this book and do not want to be spoiled, please do not watch this video. Maybe come back once you have finished this book if you do intend to read it. I contemplated doing non-spoilers or spoilers, and I couldn't choose because some people wanted me to do spoilers, a lot of people didn't. So in the end, I'm actually doing both. So this vlog will have spoilers in it, but I'm also filming a weekly reading vlog at this particular moment, in which I will be reading it but not doing spoilers. Yes, it is a big undertaking for me to take on filming 2 vlogs at the one time. What am I doing? I don't really know for sure, but we're just gonna have a good time. Today is Monday and this literally just arrived this morning. When I tell you I literally squealed when this came in the door, my mother thought I was going crazy. Yes, I did get 2 copies. This is the regular edition, which I'm going to be annotating the crap out of, and I will be like hopefully showing you my annotations as well. So unlike my weekly reading vlogs, this video will be solely dedicated to talking about this book and reading this book. If you want to see me read this book with no spoilers and what I get up to this week, be sure to watch my weekly reading vlog, which I will hopefully be putting up before this video. And I am so excited. Honestly, I have had the biggest FOMO for the past week because so many people have been reading this book, and I only received my copy today, but I'm so excited because a lot of my friends are actually starting reading it now, and I'm just here for it. So yeah, once again, before I get into my thoughts, this vlog will have very big spoilers in it, so please do not watch if you do not want to be spoiled for this book. Okay, so I literally started this at 4 o'clock today. As soon as I was finished with everything else I needed to do for the day, I started reading. I am currently on chapter 3, which is page 37. It's not the biggest amount, but I was literally reading for about half an hour. I kept getting distracted by different notifications and things, but already I'm really loving it. I have quite a few annotations already. I don't know if you can see that, but I do actually have quite a few annotations already. This book, it's interesting. I'm obviously loving it already. This is from the perspective of Nesta, who was kind of a minor character for the past 3 books. Though we do have a lot of information on her, she was never the POV, so we never really got to see her insight and her thoughts. There have been a couple of moments where I've actually been angry at Nesta, and I'm like, okay, I know you've been through some shit. I know you have. But that really doesn't excuse you from literally taking away from everybody else's pain and degrading everybody else and how they feel. There's been a couple times where she has shamed Farah for being the favorite child growing up, when I'm thinking, do you not remember you sacrificing her so she went out to hunt while you stayed in and then spent the money that she earned? Does she not remember this? Because I remember that, and it did get on my nerves a little bit. It also really hurts me that she loves Elaine so much and really doesn't love Farah, though there have been a couple of hints of like Nesta talking about something that she needs to tell Farah as to why she pushed her away, which I am interested to find out about. I do think I am going to connect with Nesta during this book. I really hope so, otherwise it's going to be a little bit of a strange ride. Though Nesta is the narrator of this book, we do actually get a lot of insight into all of the other characters from the inner circle, which I'm very happy about, because I don't usually love a POV switch during a series, but because we're still with the same characters, just learning a a little bit more about a certain person. I actually don't mind it too much and I'm very excited to get into it more. I just want to read for the whole evening today, but we'll see how far I get. Tomorrow is probably my busiest day this week, so we'll see how that goes. I'm very, very excited. There's also a lot of sad things and Nesta really talking about a lot of trauma that she's been through, and I do feel for her, do not get me wrong, I totally do feel for her, but it's just the fact that she seems to have forgotten completely how she treated Farah. And they're all talking about Elaine like she's a baby, and they're talking like, but we both bonded during the war over our need to protect Elaine. Elaine is the oldest sister, or at least she's older than Farah. Like, she's not a baby. The way they're describing it, it's like she's like 10 years old. It gets frustrating. I don't particularly like Elaine, but again, I am interested to see her come out of her shell, because in A Court of Wings and Ruin she was very much so traumatized and very, very quiet. I think this is going to be perfect because there's going to be a relationship between Nesta and Cassian, we already know. I'm very interested to get to the angsty stage where they're still thinking that they hate each other but secretly they love each other, because I feel like that in Akamath was the best part of the series so far in this book. And I know I'm talking a lot about my thoughts right now and I've read literally 30 pages, but I promise once I read more I will have more rounded thoughts. So far Rhys is not being painted as the best person. He really doesn't like Nesta, which I do get, I understand. He's in love with Farah. Nesta treated Farah awfully. It's understandable that Farah loves Nesta because she's her sister, but it's also understandable that Rhys does not. However, Nesta feels the same about him, so Rhys is definitely not being painted in the best light here. I really wish that Nesta and Farah had a very, very close sisterly bond, and I really, really hope that we do achieve that by the end of the book. I know they've been through a lot, but I really feel like that would make this series if they could get closer. I'm so excited to continue. I'm so excited to see Nesta find her place. This book starts 1 year after the events at the end of A Court of Wings and Ruin, so Nesta has kind of fallen apart this past year and really started to go off the rails a little bit. So we had an intervention scene and it shouldn't have been funny, but it was kind of funny because it was just like they were all so angry, and I've never really seen the inner circle angry before. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking because if I speak for 10 minutes per 30 pages, can you imagine the length of this vlog? So yeah, I am very excited to continue reading and I will be sure to update you as I go. I am so in love with this series, so I have very high hopes for this book. I want to show you under the dust jacket because I have been reading it with the dust jacket off. It's bright orange. I mean, when I saw it first, I was definitely thinking that the cover artist or whoever makes the covers was on some sort of drug. However, the more I look at it, the more it's actually not that obnoxious and it's actually kind of cute. So yeah, that is it. That is all I need to talk about for right now. I am going to hopefully read a lot more this evening and will update you when I have more thoughts and more progress. Okay, it's literally been like 10 minutes. I just wanted to say again, like, my feelings on Nesta. I feel like from this book alone, if I didn't know what she had done in the past to Farah, I would really like her. I would think she's just like a super complex character, and I totally see how she's traumatized and how much PTSD and how much she is suffering. I can see that completely, but she is basically saying, I've suffered, none of you have suffered. Essentially, that's what she's saying. But the thing that I really don't like about her is how differently she treats her sisters, and maybe this gets to me because I am in a family with 3 girls. I couldn't bear to treat one of my sisters differently than the other, because I really don't know how Nesta could stand there being the oldest sister like I am and just like watch her younger sister go out and like fend for the whole family and then treat her like shit when she comes back with like the only food. I don't see that. And then she is still so good to you and like gives you a place in her court. And I'm not saying that Nesta needs to be happy with her situation because she did not choose any of this, but like, you don't need to be a bitch about it all the time. You can actually say thank you. You can actually like acknowledge that Farah has not really done anything to you. She didn't ask for any of this either. This is not her fault that she has built things up from the ground. That's all I wanted to say about how I really dislike how she treats Elaine differently to Farah, and I think that made me dislike Elaine. Elaine was just kind of like there and was just accepting the fact that she was the favorite, so she didn't need to fight for equality between the family, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does, but like, that made me dislike Elaine, even though it shouldn't have, because she didn't ask to be the favorite. But like, she also didn't treat Farah the same, even though they seem to have some sort of bond right now. Hey guys, okay, it is now Saturday today and I have not updated you in a very long time. I haven't read in a couple days, but I'm hoping to remedy that this weekend. I've kind of done everything that I need to do this weekend. It was my mom's birthday yesterday, so I'm hoping to read just for the entirety of the weekend now. I am up to page 222, which is chapter 20. Look at the tabs, like look at that. There's so much to unpack here. First of all, it's kind of getting steamy now and I'm excited because we've kind of passed the stage where they both think the other hates them. There was a scene, Cassian had just told Nesta that everybody hated her. He didn't mean it, but he just said that because she wasn't trying at all. And then the next day she's like, well, I know that everybody hates me, and Cassian just says, nobody has ever hated you, that's why we're doing this. And then she was just like, just so you know, Cassian, I never hated you too. Are you admitting your feelings right now, Nesta? We already had a spicy scene without having a spicy scene. I am freaking loving this. I still have no clue what the book is actually about, like other than her finding herself and like healing, which is a very important part and it's very important. But could I tell you what the plot is actually about? No. And I feel like if nothing had happened in any other book other than a Sarah J Maas book, I would be bored already, because it's literally just the monotonous day of Nesta Archeron. Like that's it. We have her training with Cassian in the morning, then her going to work in the library, and then going to bed thinking of Cassian, and that's it. That's the whole book so far. I think we're being introduced to a couple of things now to do with like the human queens and things like that, which honestly I'd kind of forgotten about, so that's interesting. I'm just hoping to read a lot of this today because it's such a fast read. When you're not distracted while reading, you can read a good chunk of this in a short time. So what I'm planning on doing is literally hiding my phone. I know that sounds so drastic, but I need to put it on the other side of the freaking room because I'll be too lazy to get up and get it, because honestly it's the biggest distractor while reading. So I'm just gonna like put on some ASMR rooms or a live sprint or something like that and then read, because I'm not gonna say I'm gonna finish this book this weekend because that's like 600 pages, but I would like to, obviously. So we're just gonna see, we're just gonna take it as it is, and I will come back to you when I have some more updates. But oh my god, this book is freaking amazing. Like I feel like with every book Sarah writes, it just gets better. And like by that I mean her character development, her plot, her magic system, her writing, every part of her books just get better and better as they go on. When you think back to like her oldest books like ACOTAR, it's so inferior, which I feel like is disappointing because so many people judge her entire writing based on ACOTAR or Throne of Glass. Though I do like the first book in Throne of Glass, it's objectively not the best in the series or the best of her books. And Crescent City, you know we're not even ready for book 2. As I said before, Rhys is definitely not being painted in the best light, and neither is Feyre, and I think that's quite interesting because in the past 3 books we've obviously been reading it from Rhys's or Feyre's perspective, so they're both in love with each other. So we've literally just heard the positives about them and we've just kind of heard how amazing Rhys is. So it's really actually refreshing to see Nesta really dislike him. I don't know, I like Rhys, but lately I've just been finding everything he says really cringy. I don't know, I just do, and I'm like, I never thought this before, why do I think this now? It's so refreshing. I'm loving to see how Nesta is kind of opening up and starting to realize that actually people are here to help her, and I really hope that she has a closer bond with Elaine and Feyre by the end of it. That would be the one thing that I would really like to get out of this book. Okay, hello guys, it is now later in the day, it's about 7 p.m. and I have reached page 257. Okay, Feyre is pregnant. That's great. I kind of saw that coming, honestly, because we all read Akamath and Akawar. Fairly impossible not to be. I'm really not liking Rhys in this book, and not just because of the way that Nesta is portraying him, just because he's so overprotective and overbearing. Like this whole book he has kept Feyre in a bubble shield like around her that like you cannot get through for the whole book because she's pregnant, and it's like, boy, like literally get over yourself, please. To be fair, I mean, if there had been that amount of attempts on somebody that I love's life, yeah, I get it, but like it's so annoying that he's like so overbearing, and I feel like it's making Feyre not have a personality in this book. I don't know, it feels like a completely different Feyre and Rhys to like the other 3 books, which is strange. But anyways, I am going to read a little bit more this evening. I do have a couple of things to watch on TV as well, so I'm just gonna make a good mix, and I will probably update you again tomorrow. I've started putting like post-it notes at the top of the page. It's something that I want to like talk about on this vlog because there's a lot to talk about. It's adult, like it's not YA. Not that I ever thought it was. Even the first 3 books, like they technically could be considered YA, even though the second and third definitely shouldn't be, but compared to this, they could get away with it, like, you know. Anyways, that's all I need to say, but I am freaking loving this book. Oh my god, I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish it or anything, but it's so freaking good. We just got back from a walk, and the whole time we kept like stopping to talk to different neighbors, and I was just like, let me go home and read, please. Also, I just wanted to kind of apologize that there's no like cozy montages or anything like that in this vlog, but that is because I'm actually filming 2 vlogs at the same time, and it is difficult to get like both content. So this one is just for the spoilers. If you want to see the coziness while I read this book, hop on over to the other vlog, which is probably up before this one. Okay guys, hello. I know I have not updated this vlog for a little while, but I come on here because I have the most exciting update. I have now finished A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. I'm sorry that I didn't update you the whole way through, but I genuinely just was so engrossed in this story. First of all, obviously 5 out of 5 stars, 6 out of 5 stars, 100 out of 5 stars. I don't even know how to describe how much this book means to me. I do not think I can physically put into words how much I loved this book, how amazing this book was, and what I would do to read this book again for the first time. I have been reading this for almost 2 weeks. I started this the Monday before last. Today is Thursday, March 4th. I'm not sorry about that. I'm so glad that I read it slowly, though obviously I could have binge read it, except for the fact that I was like so busy and tired and everything. But honestly, it is for the best that I slowly read it, because I took in every single detail. I did not rush through a single part of this. I literally absorbed every single detail, every single piece of information, whereas I feel like with the first 3 books, especially Akawar, I listened to the audiobook on 2 times speed, possibly 2.5. I probably missed a lot of information about that one. This, I did not. I sobbed like a freaking baby. I don't know when the last time was that I updated you, but if you have read this book, you obviously know how it ends, so I'm just going to tell you my final thoughts. First of all, starting with the blood right, can I just say how much freaking feminism power is in this book? The female friendships in here, I literally screamed multiple times. Oh my god, the power these women hold. I love every single character. I'm so excited that we got to meet new characters in this book, which I think make it a little bit more interesting. At the start of the book, we didn't have a whole bunch of content from the inner circle, simply because Nesta did not feel connected to the inner circle. She didn't feel like she was a part of them. We were reading about the inner circle from an outsider's point of view, which made it a lot more biased towards how we were supposed to feel about the inner circle. Towards the end, that completely shifts, and it just means that the inner circle got so much bigger. I feel like in the next books, Gwen and Emery, who are the 2 main new additions to this series, are going to become part of the inner circle, even though they're like Nesta's sisters now. I'm gonna get onto Nesta's sisters in a hot second, but I definitely think that they're all going to come together in the next book, which I'm so excited about and do have some theories about. Gwen and Emery, I love them so much. I have predictions that Gwen is going to be in a love triangle with Azriel and Elaine. I don't know which one is going to win, if either of them are. I don't know, but I feel like next book will be from Azriel's point of view, with those 2 as the love interest. Then I actually think Emery is going to be a possible love interest for more. There was one scene in here that kind of hinted at that a little bit, and I do think that that is going to happen. Maybe not in the next book, maybe it will happen in the next book, but maybe more will be like another book, because I definitely feel like Azriel is next. But oh my god, Gwen and Emery, the bravery, the strength, the power that these women hold. I was genuinely tearing up at so many parts of this book for multiple reasons, but mainly at the love between Nesta, Gwen and Emery, because they all had such horrific trauma, and they all thought that they weren't worthy, and they all thought that the other would give up on them when they revealed what had happened to them. But actually it made them so much stronger, and they realized their stories are so worthy of being told, and they're so worthy of being loved regardless of what happened to them. And I'm so happy that they were able to kind of work through that a little bit and realize they're not on their own. Cassian and Nesta, we're gonna move on to that next. This is the fieriest romance that Sarah J Maas has written to date. I think they have so much chemistry. Every single scene with them together was literally steamier than the next, and there was a lot. I loved them so much, and I was not shocked when they were like mates, because obviously. But again, I'm so excited to read more about them in future books, even though they'll probably be more of like a back character, but I'm still really excited. And I definitely feel like we got enough of a progression from kind of like, I wouldn't say enemies to lovers because they always secretly loved each other, but just kind of like from enemies to friends to lovers, if that makes sense. This was so good. I genuinely can't. Chapter 50 made me all kinds of emotional. We saw some amazing raw emotion from Nesta, and we had never really seen her break down like that or show such vulnerability, and I think it really showed that there's strength in vulnerability. Sarah J Maas is a genius. She is such a queen. She manages to put everything into her books. Like, we had so much talk about difficult topics like mental health, physical health, trauma, addiction, everything like this and much more. So obviously there are trigger warnings. If there's any particular thing that you want me to comment on or let you know my opinion on, if I haven't mentioned it, let me know down in the comments or like message me or something. I do think that this book had less of a plot than perhaps maybe A Court of Mist and Fury and ACOWAR, because they kind of had like the war, and they also had like kind of spring court versus night court thing going on. But that did not mean that the book was slow, because I think a lot of the plot had to do with Nesta overcoming her problems and realizing that this group of people, these are my family and I love them. And it did take her a while to realize that, but I do think it was amazing. I think for me the action began when they were in the blood right, because I think that is when the plot started to thicken. But again, that did not mean that nothing happened before that, because that only happened in like the last 100 pages. I'm still like obsessed with these annotations. I can't. Honestly, this book is so amazing. At the very end, when Farah was giving birth to Nyx, which I don't know how I feel about that name, but it's kind of fitting. We're gonna approve. That scene made me bawl like a baby, because we finally kind of bridged that tension between Nesta and Farah, because we realized that all of these petty things doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, they're sisters, they love each other. They would literally die for each other and sacrifice everything, like Nesta sacrificed everything to save Farah. I definitely think that Elaine is a little bit bland, not gonna lie. She's just really like quiet and everything, but that is because we have not heard her point of view. I'm sure I will grow to love her when I read her in the next book, because I'm presuming. Just that whole scene, and how by Nesta doing this and sacrificing her power, which was an honorable thing to do, let me first say, it made everybody kind of so much closer together, and it made Rhys realize, shit, she is sorry for what she's done in the past. She had her own things to deal with, but now she's here, and now she has literally saved the life of me, my mate, and my child. That book made me so emotional, because it felt like the ending to the series, even though there's going to be another book or two. I was so worried that like there would be this crazy open ending, or crazy like we didn't know if someone was going to live or die, and then have to wait like several years. It wasn't like that. I loved the ending. I loved seeing scenes like the winter solstice and the starfall party and Farah's birthday party. All of those things made it seem like such a real friendship group and a real family, and honestly I'm here for it. I'm here for everything. I loved this book so freaking much. I don't know if I have anything else to say. I loved making a spoiler vlog, because I felt like I could really put my thoughts and like unfiltered thoughts out there. Let me know if you like this vlog, or if you like the kind of spoiler vlog, and which book you would like me to read to do a spoiler vlog on next. But I am so happy that I finally read this book. It definitely lived up to the hype, definitely lived up to my expectations and exceeded them. I just want to hug this book. I still do have to read the bonus scene. I want to hear all of your thoughts on Akasif down in the comments. Let me know. Message me on Instagram if you don't want to spoil the comments, though I'm guessing if you've watched this far you're already spoiled. Comment the fire emoji if you watched to the end. It's the only appropriate emoji. Honestly, I felt such an amazing connection to Nesta as well, because she's the oldest sister of 3, and she's so like protective over her sisters, even though she didn't always show it. I'm very protective over my sisters, even though there's not really any like evil being trying to kill them, but I would still be protective, and I would still sacrifice my power to save them. Hopefully that never has to happen, because I don't have any power. And I felt such a connection to Nesta, and I really love that like bitch attitude, and I mean that in the nicest possible way, because she is such a like the fuck do you think you are type of person, and I want to be that type of person so bad. Sometimes I am that type of person. I like to think I am, but also I tend to be a little bit nice when people say it, but like in my head I'm like, you know? So I'm gonna try to adapt to the Nesta way of life. She's my new role model. Watch me change my personality to fit in with this character, because let me live my main character life. I freaking love Nesta Archeron. I want Nesta tattooed to my face because she is amazing. She is a queen. She's a legend. I love her. And I hope nobody fucking hates her after this book, because there's no need. There's no need to go there. Anyways, I have said enough. I've been talking for literally 20 minutes, but I'm going to end this video now. Thank you so much for watching. Stay amazing, stay kind, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.